So the Championship has a lot of talented players in the league, but who is the best player at every single age from 16 up to 37? Today we'll be finding out. Also, I am going to be doing a football Q&A in the next few days, so if you want to be involved in that video, feel free to leave a question in the comments down below. Before we get into anything though, I want to give a shout out to OneFootball for sponsoring today's video. If you're looking to keep up with all the latest footballing news, then OneFootball is the place to be. Obviously, as we are in an international break at the moment, you can keep up to date with all the latest England news. You can follow the game that's going on tonight. Hopefully that'll be a bit more entertaining than Friday night's game against Czech Republic, which, I mean, it's fair to say that didn't go to plan. I'm interested to see what lineup Southgate goes for after Friday, but you can follow all of that on the app. But whoever you do support, you can check out all the latest news from your club, so I'll leave a link in the top line of the description down below where you can go ahead and download the app. But without any further ado, let's hop into this video. So I think I've got some interesting shouts in there. I got this video idea from HITC Sport, a great footballing channel who did this video for the Premier League. So I thought it'd be interesting to do it for the Championship because we've got quite a range of players in the league at the moment. So I'll leave a link to their channel in the description down below. But without any further ado, let's hop into my selections. So starting it out at 16, the best 16-year-old in the Championship, it's got to be Jude Bellingham realistically. He's burst onto the scene this season, the Birmingham midfielder. He's already scored 2 match-winning goals from midfield. I think that Birmingham fans can already tell that they got a real prospect on their hands there. And quite rightly so, are quite excited about what the future could hold with him. For the best 17-year-old in the league, I've gone for with athletic striker Joe Geldhart. Absolutely brilliant youngster. Scored a fantastic goal against Hull earlier on this season. Has just scored 2 goals and got an assist for England's under-18s against Poland the other day. He's someone who can be a bit of a live wire for Wigan going forward, knows where the back of the net is. And I hope to see him get more starts as the season progresses and could prove to be the spark they've been lacking so far going forward. The best 18-year-old, I went for Hanno Masengo of Bristol City. They signed him from Monaco in the summer, the French midfielder, and he's really done well for them so far. Got absolutely brilliant hair, but is very comfortable on the ball, has slotted right into that Bristol City midfield. And at only 18 years old, I think that Bristol City fans especially have seen the amount of potential that this guy's got, and I think he will go far in the future. 19, Jalen Bogle, one of the players who I think that it's only going to be a matter of time before he does get that move to the Premier League. Last season was his real breakthrough year with Derby, where he scored 2 goals and got 9 assists from fullback. When he was out injured earlier on the season, Derby were really lacking his presence down that right-hand side. Since he's been back in the squad, he's made 4 starts for them and already has 2 assists to his name this season. For me, he is probably one of the best prospects in the league at the moment, and you know, we've seen the likes of Max Aarons, Reece James, all come up through the Championship and now are playing their football in the Premier League. I think it's going to be a matter of time before Bogle's the same. 20, Eddie Nketiah, the striker who's currently on loan from Arsenal to Leeds. Now, there's a bit to Eddie Nketiah. There has been some speculation around him lately that he might be recalled in January due to a lack of game time. Obviously, he's yet to make a start for Leeds so far in the Championship. Bielsa has mostly been using him as an impact sub, and in a few of the glimpses that I have seen of him, he looks like a really promising player. Obviously, he came off the bench to score the winner against Brentford, came off the bench to score against Barnsley as well, and also has 2 goals in the Carabao Cup. I'd just like to see him getting a few more minutes, really. Bristol City were heavily linked to him in the summer, and there has been some reports that they might be looking to go back in for him in January if he's still not getting that much game time. But that all remains to be speculation for the time being, and I still think he's a very good player. At the age of 21, we have a lot of competition, so this one was a tough one to pick. I could have gone for Colin Grant, Alpha Semedo, Ben White, Ajaria, or Digne. But for me personally, I've gone for Eze of Queen's Park Rangers. I think that this season especially, he's really taken his game to the next level. Last season, he was brilliant in glimpses for QPR, but this time around, he's really starting to influence games and being that main creative hub for them going forward. He's already matched his goal tally from last season, scoring 4 goals and picking up 2 assists this far into the year. But even then, I don't think that those stats do him justice. He's a fantastically gifted footballer. Probably still one of my favourite goals that's been scored so far this season was his goal against Stoke City on the opening day. One of my favourite players to watch in the league whenever I get to catch a glimpse of him, and for me personally, I'd say the best 21-year-old. 22, Jared Bowen. This one was probably one of the easiest ones to pick on the list. So far this season, he scored 4 goals and got 2 assists. Last season, scored 22 goals as a winger and got 4 assists. A lot of people were surprised that he didn't get his move to the Premier League in the summer, but that does mean that we got another year of him to enjoy in the Championship. I don't think there's many people who have got a better left foot than him in the league. At 23, this is the only one where I've gone for 2 players because I couldn't separate these 2. I've gone for Calvin Phillips and Pereira from West Brom. They're 2 people who are probably the best in their position in the league, and I couldn't really choose between them. You know, one's a winger, one's a defensive midfielder, and they're both brilliant at what they do. Calvin Phillips, since Bielsa's come in at Leeds, has completely transformed his game. Obviously, there was a lot of speculation with him linking him to the Premier League in the summer as well, but Calvin Phillips, with another year in the Championship, is going to get to develop his game even more. And then Pereira from West Brom's probably been the best player in the league so far, so I couldn't not include him into today's video. He's already scored and assisted some brilliant goals this far into the season, and I only think he's going to go on and get better. Both those plays collectively, I think you're absolutely brilliant. 24, Ben Pearson. This one's no doubt going to throw up some debates in the comments down below, but for me personally, there are very few midfielders who can do what Ben Pearson does at this level. Obviously, there's everything that he offers off the ball. You know, he likes a yellow card every now and again. He's been averaging a yellow card every 2.2 matches for the last 3 seasons. He's picked up 42 yellow cards in his last 3 years, which is a bit ridiculous, really, but this season he seems to have calmed down a little bit. In 10 appearances, he's only picked up 3 so far, which by Ben Pearson standards isn't too bad. But as I get to see him play week in, week out, watching what he offers for this Preston side is absolutely invaluable to us. He's similar to Calvin Phillips in the way that he likes to drop in between the centre-backs, pick up the ball and then get us moving going forward, and that's an area of his game where I actually think Ben Pearson's actually very underrated in the Championship. His passing ability, his vision going forward, and the way that he and Paul Gallagher make us tick in midfield. So for me personally, Ben Pearson, best 24-year-old. 25, Alexander Mitrovic. For me personally, he shouldn't be in the Championship. He is a Premier League striker and he's going to absolutely rip up the league this year. He's already got a fantastic goal scoring record. In 11 appearances, he's scored 8 goals so far this season. He is leading the way for goals scored at the moment. Last season for Fulham in the Premier League, he scored 11 goals, and he is more than capable of playing at that level. So for that reason, Mitrovic, he's got to be the best 25-year-old. 26, Mike van der Hoorn. Now, he just about makes it into this category. I think that when you guys will be watching this video, tomorrow will be his 27th birthday, but he just about sneaks into this category, and if we're talking about people who are capable of playing at a high level, I think that Van der Hoorn also falls into that category. An absolutely colossal defender at this level. Since Swansea were relegated, Van der Hoorn's been absolutely massive for them at the back. He's played a massive role in why Swansea have been able to keep it so tight at the back so far this season. Only Leeds have conceded less goals than Swansea have. I think all Swansea fans would hold him in the same high regard. 27 was a tough one, and it was a 50-50 for me between Joe Lolly and Anthony Knockaert. I've just edged Joe Lolly in this one because, I mean, his record in the Championship last year was absolutely fantastic, and Knockaert's had a couple of quiet years in the Premier League, but maybe this year my opinion will be changed. But I don't think you can argue that Joe Lolly is an absolutely quality player at this level. Similar to Jared Bowen in the way he plays on that right hand side and likes to cut inside with his left foot. Last season in the Championship he scored 11 goals and got 11 assists. I don't think there's many sides in the Championship that Joe Lolly wouldn't be able to find his way into. He scored some absolutely cracking goals over the years. 28 was an age that I had no debates about whatsoever. It has to be Tom Kearney, an absolute baller. So far this season he scored 5 goals and got 3 assists from midfield, and he scored some absolutely cracking goals. It seems to be a trademark Tom Kearney goal now, to get the ball on the edge of the box and just bend it into the far post with his left foot. In the Championship he always puts up fantastic numbers though. We've seen him get into double figures for goals and assists. Back in 2017 where he scored 13 and got 10 assists. And with the way he's going so far this season, I think he might top that. 29, Andre Ayew. I think a lot of people were excited about what he could bring to the league this year after coming back from his loan from Fenerbahce last season. This is a player who scored double figures while he's been in the Premier League before. A menace down that left hand side. He's already scored 2 goals and got 3 assists so far this season. At 30 we're starting to get into some of the older players now, but I'm going to go for Lukas Djukovic. There were a couple of others who I could have gone for, but Djukovic for me still one of the most underrated strikers in the league. Absolutely phenomenal year last time round, scoring 14 goals and getting 10 assists. I don't think there's anyone you'd probably rather have in the league to hang the ball up to the far post and look to have a striker cushion the header down. Lukas Djukovic, that's his game all round. He's so effective at it, brilliant at bringing others into play. He's got an eye for goal. He can play to his strengths, and I really don't think there were many better in the league than him. I could have gone for someone like Charlie Austin, but he's not really been able to stay fit over the past few years, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do over a full season in the Championship. But for the time being, Djukovic for me, best 30-year-old. 31, Kamil Grosicki, probably one of the most technically gifted players that I've spoken about on this list so far. He's scored some absolutely belting free kicks this far into this season, but his overall play, he's someone who's able of creating something out of nothing. Last season he got 9 goals and 12 assists. A really intelligent player who's just able to glide past people on the football pitch. At 31, I really don't think there's anyone better. 32's got to be Darren Randolph. Still for me, probably one of, if not the best goalkeepers in the league. Over the past few years, he's saved Middlesbrough on multiple occasions, made some absolutely outrageous reflex saves, and we've seen examples of that throughout this season already. I think he's good enough to play in the Premier League. I think that all the Borough fans would agree with that, and I think that they're all thankful to have him. 33, I've gone for Charlie Mulgrew. I was sort of scraping the barrel at this point, but to be fair, he's actually done very well in his loan spell at Wigan so far this season. Obviously, a brilliant set-piece taker. He scored directly from a few corners last season for Blackburn, and since making his move to Wigan so far this season, probably has been one of their most consistent performers, actually. 34, of course, it was always going to be Pablo Hernandez. I think that whenever he's not in the side, Leeds feel his absence. 2 goals, 2 assists for him so far this season. Last season, he got 12 goals and 12 assists. I've spoke about him in length on the channel so far, but he's absolutely brilliant at popping up in little pockets of space, and he's able to see the pass that no one else is thinking about on the pitch. Not to mention his eye for goal and some of the fantastic ones that he scored over his career so far. You know, that one he scored against Bristol City on the opening day, absolute genius on the pitch. I think you'll struggle to find anyone else as good as him at 34 in this league. 35, Paul Gallagher. Now, this is a player who just continues to surprise me year upon year. What I like about Gallagher is the way that he's been able to reinvent his game. When we first signed Paul Gallagher from Leicester, he was originally brought in as a winger who could sort of play as a striker as well. Then as the years went on, he sort of moved back into a number 10 role, and then now he plays as a deep line playmaker, but he's been able to reinvent his game absolutely marvellously. For our promotion season in League One, he scored 13 goals and got 21 assists and continues to deliver good numbers in the Championship. Last season scoring 6 goals and getting 7 assists as a holding midfielder, that's absolutely superb. I'd also go as far as to say he is probably one of the best set piece takers in the league, and he's going to leave such a void in our team when he eventually does, you know, go on to leave and retire. But at 35 years old, he's still doing the business for us, and long may it continue. 36, Angel Rangel. It's fair to say at this point of the video, I didn't have much choice with this one, but still doing the business for QPR in the Championship at the age of 36. He's had a fantastic playing career, obviously probably peaked at Swansea, but even now, you know, since being brought into QPR's added a level of experience to that back line, and for him to be still doing the business at the age of 36, you've got to respect him for that. And then to wrap it up at the age of 37, I've gone for Ali Al Habsi. He's probably not going to get much playing time at West Brom this season. He's coming as a backup goalkeeper, but similar to Angel Rangel, what a career he's had. Probably one of my favourite Championship goalkeepers over the last few years. Obviously from his time at Wigan, and then when he made that move to Reading, he was an absolutely fantastic goalkeeper, especially that year they made it into the playoffs. I think that deep down everyone likes a bit of Ali Al Habsi. But guys, there you have it. There is every Championship age from 16 up to 37 for who I think is the best player currently at that age in the league. So do you agree with my selections? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know any players from your clubs who you think should have made it into this video. I'm always up for a debate, but I'll back my opinion. I'm pretty happy with the selections that I've gone for. But if you did go on to enjoy, guys, make sure you do leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. Make sure you subscribe for a bit of regular Championship content. But apart from that, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.